Running low on groceries? Why not visit realvalueiga.com and experience our new online shopping platform? Place your order, then go out and enjoy your day to spend more time with friends and family. Free delivery available within select locations or in-store pickup available. Sounds simple, right? It is. Stress less, live more with Real Value IGA online store, where good food begins.
Affordable quality products delivered to you via superb service. We are superb distributors, wholesalers and authorized agents for trusted products you know and love. Like Rika Juices, Pure Heaven products, Bibin diapers, New Bright laundry detergent, Allegra pasta and more.
Contact Superb Distributors at 435-2948 for superb quality and service.
We support you at every stage of your life.
For business,
for your education,
for your financial freedom,
for that new ride.
Upgrade your life with the Communal. Contact us today.
We got the call on our way home that something was wrong. When we got here, we saw that the entire house was engulfed in flames. Just sitting there and looking at here, basically a whole life investment going up in flames. It did take a toll on us as a family. Once we decided to rebuild, the thought came up to use the Housing Authority of Grenada. After they sent in their quotation, which we thought was very, very reasonable, we decided to go with Housing Authority of Grenada. They were very helpful. They visited the site weekly. The staff was very professional. The contractor was very professional. They delivered our house on time. The quality of work was amazing. And as you can see today, we are not disappointed. I would definitely recommend Housing Authority of Grenada for all your construction needs. With their affordable costs, high level of customer service, guidance, and building expertise, they will help you as they help us.
Diamond Intercontinental Jewelry Store now has amazing deals, special discounted prices on wedding sets, watches and selected jewelry. We sell top brand jewelry and watches like Citizen, Guess and Klein and G-Shock, all at the best prices in Grenada. We also buy scrap gold and offer the best deals and customer service on the island. Opening hours Mondays to Saturdays 9:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Diamond Intercontinental Jewelry Store, located at the Esplanade Mall, St. George's, Grenada. Visit our brand new remodeled store or call us on telephone number 414-3114, 232-1234 or WhatsApp 533-1581. Sale is on for a limited time only. All right, of course, we'd like to officially welcome everyone to another Mikey Live program. I am a host, Mikey Hutchinson. We are coming to you from Grenada. Of course, it is a beautiful island, beautiful island with beautiful people. We got it all. So if you ever think about coming to Grenada, you've never been here, you got to check it out, man. We've got a bit of everything in this little country. So welcome again to those of you who are joining us for the first time, and to the usual suspects, those of you who are always on the business. We say hello to you. It is another beautiful day, and the pleasure is mine to give you real news in all your Lili Lolo. We've got quite a bit of things to tell you, and I hope that time will permit. So the Prime Minister Well, there was this not post, but it was actually a press conference to talk about the Marketing and National Importing Board. So we'll tell you what are some of the highlights coming out of that meeting or that press conference today, all right? As well, 15 Haitian nationals believed to be seeking refuge here in Grenada to be repatriated. We'll talk to you about that. The new National Party defends role of Cuban doctors in Grenada. CDB on mission to Grenada from the 13th of February to the 17th. We'll talk to you about that if we've got some more time. As well, we'll talk about an architecture company, a firm here in Grenada, wins 3 prestigious international property awards. All right. And seed payment, February 2023. We'll talk about that. Grenada's prohibition of retaining tuna and tuna-like species lifted by the ICCAT, by the ICCAT. All right. And InterCaribbean adds aircraft and expands flights in Barbados, Guyana, and the Windward Islands. So we'll talk about all of that on tonight's program, right? So telling people the business started. We're on the business. All right. This is what we call news discussed, not told. Folks, the headlines is brought to you through the kind compliment of course Grenada Limited, Digicel, Nawasa, the Housing Authority of Grenada, Real Value IGA Supermarket, Superb Distributors, Infinite Contractors, and all the other sponsors. We say thank you for being part of this, all right? And of course, folks, we're taking a break. Remember, someone sharing tonight's program will receive some free credits, compliments, Digicel, and that person could be you. We're taking a break, and we will be right back. When we come back, it could be real news in Olilili Lolo. So brace yourselves.
Infinite Contractors and Machinery. We are your one-stop engineering and consultancy company with experience locally, regionally, and internationally. We provide excavation services and engineering consultancy, construction of residential and commercial structures, civil works such as drainage, retaining walls, roads, concrete patio services, paving services, concrete driveway services, remodeling and renovation, painting services, styling services, and so much more. Ask about our rental services of excavators, heavy equipment, metal formwork, and steel prop. Contact us today via telephone number 537-9675 or email infinitecontractors19@gmail.com.
Somebody call Waggy because this is madness, total madness. Sunday, March 5th from 5 p.m. The National Stadium comes alive as Megaforce Promotion presents its first big event for 2023. March Madness Mega Bingo. And you can win a whopping $100,000 in cash.
Wait, is $100,000 he just said it?
Yes, $100K in cash could be yours. Tickets are $60 for one or $100 for two. You gotta be mad to miss that. Remember, Sunday, March 5th, National Stadium. Get ready for March Madness Mega Bingo. This is madness, total madness.
Oh yeah, this is madness, total madness, $100,000, March 5th. That is what we call March Madness in the business. Folks, let's go straight into the news just by way of information. All right. A team from the Caribbean Development Bank, the CDB, they're currently on island, and that is to assess the CDB-funded projects on mainland Grenada and in Carriacou and Pidmontic, as well as to discuss other development areas for collaboration on government's agenda. Now, the mission will run from the 13th of February to the 17th of February and will involve a series of site visits and constructive discussions targeted at improving the implementation of the key CDB-funded projects within various sectors. All right, so yeah, please be guided accordingly. Earlier, we're moving on its pace. Grenadian architecture firm has won 3 prestigious international property awards. You understand? So it seemed to be IK. It's IK, so I don't know if it's IK or IK. So we're going to say IK for now. Architecture firm, they're located in St. George's, Grenada, and they took home 3 awards at the world-renowned International Property Awards that was held on the 4th of February 2023 in London, UK. Now, since its inception in 1993, the International Property Awards has been dedicated to celebrating excellence in architecture, development, interior design, and real estate across 5 regions of the globe. That is the Americas, the Africa, Asia, Pacific, Europe, and Arabia. Now, this year's ceremony saw the Grenadian architecture firm receive 5-star awards for Best Architecture, Single Residence Grenada, Best Residential Property Grenada, and a mark of excellence as the overall category winner of Best Residential Property Americas. Gotta clap me business in my why is that one, dog? You understand? That's not easy to achieve. You understand? The 4-person architecture team, led by the principal Grenadian architect, Irina Kostka, the team traveled to the United Kingdom to receive the award in person. You understand? And so they had a good time, and of course they represented the company well and our little beautiful island. So I just want you to give them a round of applause. That'll come in easy. You understand? So big up to them. Big up to them. Enough respect. We're moving on. Oh, yeah. The government of Grenada, in an effort to ease congestion at payment sites, they like to inform all seed beneficiaries that seed payments for January 2023 will be done in alphabetical order on the following days. So A to H, Wednesday 15 February 2023. I to Q, Thursday 16 February 2023. R to Z, Friday 17 February 2023. All beneficiaries are advised to take note and go to the Treasury and the Revenue offices to on those given dates, all right? Good. So it starts from the 15th. We are moving on. How are we looking for time? The next thing that we were telling all you, Grenada's prohibition of retaining tuna and tuna-like species have been lifted by ICCAT, ICCAT. Now, some people will say, well, I didn't realize there was any sort of prohibition. Well, let's go back, provide us with some background. On the 8th of February 2023, the Ministry of Agriculture and Lands, Fisheries and Cooperatives said that they received information that the International Commission for the Conservation of Atlantic Tuna, the ICCAT, issued a notification prohibiting Grenada from retaining tuna and tuna-like species that's in accordance with the provision of paragraph 3 of the recommendation by ICCAT on penalties applicable in case of non-fulfillment of reporting obligations. Recommendation 11 to 15. Now, some of you might have seen or heard statements on Facebook that Grenada was banned from fishing, because I myself heard it, that Grenadians were banned from fishing and this and that and the other, and it is in relation to this. Now, the ICCAT is an intergovernment organization established in 1966. Now, its main purpose is the management and maintenance of populations of tuna and tuna-like fishes found in the Atlantic Ocean at levels that will permit the maximum sustainable catch for good, food, and other purposes. Now, as a contracting party to ICCAT since 2017, Grenada, like a member state, is required to submit annual fisheries data to the organization to aid in the scientific assessment and management of the pelagic fishery resources in the Atlantic region. Now, since becoming a member of ICCAT in 2017, Grenada has submitted time series data from 2017 to 2021. Nonetheless, this data contains several gaps, they say, and shortcomings, for which ICCAT Secretariat made several communications, they say, to Grenada to have it rectified. Now, despite these attempts, there was no response. Hence, the imposition of the recommendations to restrict Grenada from retaining or catching these species that comes under the management of ICCAT. All right, so it's because we were not following the guidelines and so on. And they say, well, the penalty for not following those guidelines is that you are prohibited. You understand? Now, tuna and tuna-like species comprise 70% of the total fish catch for Grenada and accounts for 85% of all fish exported. Now, these species contribute significantly to foreign exchange earnings, employment, generation, food and nutrition security, and the provision of sustainable livelihoods to the fisheries sector and the national economy. So recognizing the importance of the fishery to the fisheries sector and the economy, on receiving the ICCAT notification, the ministry took immediate measures, they say, to recompile and correct the data series and resubmit same to the Secretariat on the 9th of February 2023. So in other words, they're saying that they swiftly acted on this, right? As a result of this rapid action and response, the ministry is pleased, they say, to report to the Grenadian public, informing you that the fishing community and everyone else, that an official communication was received from the ICCAT Secretariat on the 10th of February 2023, notifying that due to Grenada's satisfactory fulfillment of its recent reporting obligations, the prohibition has been officially lifted with immediate effect. All right, so all could go ahead and do all the fishing and ting. Now the ministry wishes to further inform the fishing community that it will always work assiduously to maintain and protect the benefits derived from fisheries sector for all its stakeholders. All right, from the fisheries sector. So that has been resolved in its entirety. All right, so good news. We're moving on. I think the biggest thing for today, now we ain't talking about Rihanna being pregnant, because what I'm saying is nothing wrong with being pregnant. Take all the time. There is nothing wrong with being pregnant. There's also nothing wrong. How much years Rihanna have again? 30 how much? There's nothing wrong if she had a child 9 months ago, a year ago, or about 9 months, or a year ago, that she's having another child. That is not a problem. I spill me guts for that for all you about that already. That is not a problem. We keep putting a negative connotation, a negative vibe on pregnancy, on childbearing, and making people feel a little timid, you know, like they're doing something wrong because they make a child, 2 children 9 months apart, or they make 2 children a year apart, or 2 years apart. You understand? Come on, man. Come on. Give her a break, man. Give her a break. Childbearing is sweet, beautiful. You understand? Let me tell all of that. People who have real stress in their life, I know why. Because I don't know what children. Because if all that children, I don't have no other stress but all the children stress. You understand? People going to work and coming back home sulky and so on. Or you all going out in the street and things like that. You have a problem with neighbor, you have a problem with this. Listen, if you have children in the house, the only problem you could have in life is pertaining to your children. You know what I mean? So that's one of the greatest creations on earth, children, boy. You understand? We are gonna make children here, papa. Let us say, well, yeah, you are in the Super Bowl, yes, give them a hint. It's a whole football field you're coming with. And that's what the human second child is one. I get me share that too. I have 2 children. I'm almost 14, I have 2 children. When I say, Mikey, why are you coming out to that football field? Anyway, let me that talk. We mind twist up. Like me might. Yeah, I mean, we mind just twist. Anyway, let me. Alright, there you go. Stop it, Mikey. Only let's get serious now. I'll play too much, man. Only let's get serious now. Suzette, good night on the program. Thank you. Only. So as we get serious on the program, I think one of the biggest things that we can talk to you about, one of the highlights for the day, is the press conference that was held by the government, the Prime Minister. You understand? Today, talking about the Marketing and National Importing Board. It says that the cabinet has made the decision to dissolve the Marketing and National Importing Board. Get rid of the national, the marketing and national importing board in its current structure. They'll get a new name and all them kind of business. 94 workers are due to be sent on by the end of the month. So they will have to find new jobs. But he's also saying that once the new board comes on stream, once a new business comes on stream, they'll be given, once they qualify, will be given the opportunity to apply as well and first preference. You understand? Here's the Prime Minister, and this is news discussed, not told. I'm not cutting up nobody. I tell it, let the man talk for himself. I don't have to interpret nothing. I know the lady and how they calling it last night on Rihanna thing. If you see she move, if you see that girl, they say she had more energy than Rihanna. Yo, if that's Rihanna's personality, she was never a performer anyway. Rihanna is not known to be the biggest performer. She's good at her tunes, her songs, and then she has her product lines and so on. You understand? And if her demeanor right now, it's kind of more subtle and calm and stuff like that, Yeah, so she kind of moved in a kind of way last night, People say that was the most boring, or they didn't feel the passion in her performance and that kind. Anyway, lady that talk. But the Prime Minister, we're going back, news discussed not told, says that, they were left with no other option, after the consultation and so on, to go this route.
Cabinet, at its meeting on the 6th of February, approved the following approach, and I'm going to provide details of that. Overarchingly, Cabinet has taken the decision that the reform of the Marketing and National Importing Board must happen. To that end, we will embark upon the following. One, the current MNIB will be dissolved over the next 6 months, starting effective the 28th of February 2023. The staff of MNIB will be severed, and the government will undertake the responsibility for paying the severance packages to the 94 employees at the MNIB. Between February and September, and if possibly sooner, the government will take a two-pronged approach to addressing the reform of the MNIB. The existing MNIB will be essentially wound down. The board will be responsible, the current board will be responsible for closing of MNIB outlets that do not need to be opened. We expect that the board will concentrate on the River Road facility and the packing house to continue servicing our farmers during the next 6 months. During that period, the board would be responsible for the management of the winding down of the MNIB operations. In addition to severing the staff and undertaking the liability to pay the staff, the government will also assume liability for the estimated $15.1 million of debt that the Marketing and National Importing Board is currently unable to pay. To that end, the Ministry of Finance will lead the negotiations with the third parties, including the banks and other third parties that Marketing Board is owing. We will also appoint a technical working group, and the technical working group job would essentially be during the 6-month period while we are winding on the Marketing and National Importing Board, would be to assist the government with the creation of a new entity. We envisage that entity will be a public-private partnership between the government of Grenada, private sector individuals, members of the public who may be interested, and other stakeholders, including farmers cooperatives who may be interested in investing in the Marketing and National Importing Board. The technical working group, therefore, will pay attention towards the creation. Essentially, their mandate will be to help government with creating the new entity. We anticipate that this will occur during the 6-month period while we are winding down the existing Marketing and National Importing Board. To do this, therefore, we had no choice but effectively to begin the process of bringing to an end the existence of the current Marketing and National Importing Board. It's a statutory body. It was created by legislation, and ultimately at the end of the 6-month period, we expect that the MNIB Act will be repealed. So in summary, the staff will be severed as at the end of February, and the government will assume the liabilities for paying the staff their severance. 2, the government will assume liability for the existing approximately, and note I say approximately, $15.1 million worth of MNIB's debt. 3, the government will on its ability to assume the debt and, if necessary, renegotiate the payment of the debt over a period of time, have the assets of MNIB transferred to the government. Thereafter, we will expect the technical working group to do its work during the 6-month period, and that will include the creation of a new entity. We will then expect that we will transfer some of the assets of MNIB, particularly the River Road facility, into the new entity, and we would go about seeking private sector investment during the 6-month period.
And he was saying also that this new approach, which is a public-private partnership, is a move that will see a brighter future for the new entity.
So it is not a case where we are simply closing down MNIB with no prospect of a better future. We certainly anticipate that with the formation of a public-private partnership, it will put the food industry in Grenada, particularly our farmers or agro-processors, and those who are interested in finding export markets, in a better place to do so with the new entity. We would expect that the new entity would focus on, amongst other things, the question of the storage, logistics, preservation, distribution, and exportation of food and agro-produced goods within Grenada throughout the period. As I said, we expect all of this to begin in February, and our timeline for the conclusion of it is September of this year.
All right. Thank you very much, Honorable Prime Minister, on that matter. Also, in today's press conference, he highlighted the fact that 15 Haitian nationals entered the Maurice Bishop International Airport. Now, according to the Prime Minister, the nationals did not have any means of taking care of themselves in Grenada. And then the decision has been taken to repatriate them. I believe that they are expected to, they were trying to see if they could have gotten a flight to be repatriated sometime tonight. They were 7 females and 8 males. Now, you know the situation in Haiti is the one that's dire, and a lot of people from Haiti, they are seeking refuge in other islands. And so the authorities here believe that that was the case with those individuals and have taken steps to have them repatriated. All right. Very interesting development there. I see, folks, I see there's I want to say hello to somebody on the live right now. I just saw her. I haven't seen her in a while, but I just saw her on the live. And that individual, once I start to speak, will know who they are. I remember when I was a little boy, you know, sometimes you pick, go to school, parents may not have, you know, enough, and sometimes they give you what they have. And so I remember being as stubborn as I were, you know, when my mom sent me to school, although she would give me breakfast and, you know, ting. I used to, before going to school, go by this woman, and she would give me things to eat and give me some tea and stuff like that. And so I made it a habit to visit her often before school started in primary school standard 2, 3, 4, you know, those days. And she never wavered in being a support for me. I can't remember if my brother was there, but I think we had a closer relationship, she and I. You know, so I would like to say hello to you. I recognize you on the program, Shirley Ann Lorini. So it's my pleasure to see you here tonight. And if I've never said this before as an adult, I'd like to say thank you again for the role you play in my upbringing as a little boy. As insignificant as you may think it is not. Yes, I remember that, and I would like to say that I'm very grateful for that. And I'm happy to see that you are on tonight's program. Right, we are moving on. How are we looking for time? We are now hearing from the new National Party. I see your heart. So we have a dispatch from the new National Party as it relates to, I believe it was an article that was published recently in one of the news outlets, all right? And it had to do with the role of Cuban doctors, and it was expressing some degree of dissatisfaction with their involvement into the medical field here in Grenada. And the New National Party thought, yes, Suzette. Yes, Suzette. Yes. All right, so okay. So, the New National Party say that they are extremely alarmed and dismayed by the recent attacks, discrediting the performance of the Cuban doctors and other healthcare professionals. Now, these health practitioners continue to serve the people of Grenada, especially the poor, who do not have the financial resource to travel abroad for medical attention. What is even more alarming and should raise grave concerns among all Grenadians is the deafening silence of the present government. From 1979 to this day, the government and people of Cuba have made tremendous sacrifices and the greatest contribution towards the national health care. Now, while our health care system is not perfect and continues to be a work in progress, we must appreciate and applaud the efforts of Cuba. The World Health Organization, of which Grenada is a member, has constantly recognized Cuba as having the best healthcare system in the Western Hemisphere. Now, when Cuba sends its professionals abroad, it sends the very best. Being human, not everyone will carry out their mandate, but we must never be ungrateful as a people and throw out the baby with the bath water. Okay. Hundreds of Grenadians can attest to the medical care that they have received from Cuban doctors over the years. Care that is in most instances have saved their lives. Therefore, the New National Party condemns, this disparaging attacks, which discredits our own system and bring into disrepute a country like Cuba, which over the years has done so much for our country, having so little themselves. The leadership and members of the NNP, as well as all Grenadians who wish to disassociate themselves with this vile and evil attack, join to assure the government and people of Cuba that their contribution and sacrifice are appreciated and we are a grateful country. So that's a dispatch that came from the New National Party on the whole thing about the article that was published relating to Cuban doctors in Grenada and the this and the that and the other. Anyway, we drink water and my way business here, Papa. There we go. How are we looking for time? So there was an accident involving an ambulance yesterday, boy. But people say things. Anyway, no one was seriously injured in that incident, and it took them some time. It took a while, a good one, for them to get that ambulance off the street because, it was a good size ambulance, and so to get those, because of all the damages to the vehicle, to get it on a tow truck or a flatbed or so, that was easy. You understand? So that impeded the flow of traffic for a good while. You understand? Anyway, I just thought I should highlight that, no serious injuries was sustained as a result of that. I see somebody asking about the missing persons on the boat. Well, to date, the family contacted me throughout the weekend. They were calling to ask if I've heard anything and so on. To date, the men who went missing just about a week or so ago, or just over a week, are yet to be located. Yes, we have not had any positive leads relating to their whereabouts or any information about what might have happened to them. And so the family, they are, you should know, emotionally, it's terrifying, and to not have any closure as to what has happened and so on. But I guess as much we still have to hold on to hope a little bit, because I've known people who have gone missing at sea for a long time, for months, and were still rescued alive, though dehydrated and malnourished. I've known people who have been out there for a long time and were able to survive. So it is my hope that that's the same. That's the case with these young men. It's just, we have to hope for the best. They were very young. They are very young. So it just breaks my heart to hear that kind of stuff, Monet Williams, how are you doing? Monet calls me Sir Hutchinson, and they say you got to fake it before you make it, Monet. So you put that out there, who knows, one day, one day, maybe I'll be able to, achieve such accolades. Oh boy. All right, so moving on. How are we looking for? Whoa. Somebody's not keeping time. Let me see. Angel, thank you. We're running out of time. We are actually running out of time. Thank you, Angel. I didn't see what do you call it now? Putting up the time. Yeah? We're going to have to impose a detention. You understand? You got like a detention. Don't worry. She win. And so let's just go with that other story, and then probably we'll take a quick break. The InterCaribbean, the Airways have announced the addition of 2 aircraft to its fleet and an expanded flight schedule to serve Antigua, Barbados, Dominica, Grenada, Guyana, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines beginning March 12, 2023. The introduction of another Embraer, 145 jet and an ATR-42-500 series turboprop with seating capacity of 50 and 48 seats respectively, increases InterCaribbean's fleet of 5 aircraft servicing the Barbados and Windward Islands routes. Now, with this expanded fleet, InterCaribbean now offers travelers enhanced schedule options and improved intra-regional travel with greater connectivity among the islands. Flights to and from Barbados will double, with more flights going non-stop to St. Vincent and Grenada, offering greater availability to these destinations. Now, InterCaribbean is also launching new non-stop flights between St. Vincent and St. Lucia to give fast connections between these 2 destinations. The extended schedule now links the Eastern and Western Caribbean with a twice-weekly service from Georgetown and Barbados via Antigua to Providenciales, all right, to the Turks and Caicos, connecting onward to Nassau, Bahamas, Havana, Cuba, and Kingston, Jamaica. Now, according to the founder and the chairman of the InterCaribbean Airways, Lyndon Gardiner, we are committed to expanding our services in the Eastern Islands and of the Caribbean, where travelers have been affected by the air travel void left during the pandemic. It is a privilege to serve these islands, and we will continue to work to demonstrate ourselves equal to that privilege and trust with dedication to safety and creating an overall satisfying experience for all our passengers. We look forward to announcing more exciting news and destinations during this year. And I think that's really good news, because we've had a problem with these flights and them for too long. You had to go here, you had to jump here, jump there, jump here. So that one is good. Only Rihanna, they say Rihanna breaking the internet because she has not performed to expectation. I don't know what I expect from Rihanna. And in addition to that, it was then revealed or discovered that she was pregnant. Of course, there was no, at least not that I know of, any official announcement that she was pregnant. I don't know that she needs to do one. And so the world was shocked by that discovery. All right. She did a medley of songs. We cannot play it on our program in full or in part because, of course, that violates copyright laws. Only to say that if you need to see and judge for yourself, you can check it out on YouTube or anywhere else, you know, where you think that you can find that. Okay, so that's about it. I don't want to say more about Rihanna alone. Pregnancy, there's nothing wrong with pregnancy. And I've only known it, I've only been exposed to this after having children myself. And to hear comments that people are making, and then I'm inquiring, is this how it is? And people are like, yeah. And I'm like, I never even know that. Mikey, when are you making a child? Mikey, when are you making a child? I eventually made one when I had my first son, when I'm almost 40. You understand? And then I decided, my family, we decided that, hey, you know, and we planned, we think nice. And there comes the second one, and then, and they are what, 3, almost 4 years apart, right? And then you hear comments like, Mikey, you're making a football field. And I'm like, huh? What? You understand? It's like, so it just tells me, and listen, guys, you have no idea of how much of that I've gotten in the past few months. You know, having two children, and almost 40. All right? How many people would say to you that, slow down now, or no more, and they're like, ah? So wait, you know, it's like, on what grounds, on what basis? On what basis? You understand? Is it, like, what basis? You know what I mean? No, and this is real. And it even showed more light, that kind of perception even showed more light when I saw how people were reacting to Rihanna. Like, what? Okay, so she's had a baby 9 months ago. If it is in her plan, how old is Rihanna now? If it's part of a plan to have, she and her man, to have a second child, now, okay, she's 34. Okay? She's 34 and only has one child. What's the problem if she decides to make another child 9 months after she's made her first? She's soon going to be 40. She don't want to be making, come on. So okay, so what are you suggesting? So you're going to suggest she waits for 3 more years or 4 more years to give them a gap, a longer, and then she makes the second child when she's almost 40? Was she making a grandchild? You understand? And then when it's time for her to start to slow down a little bit and so, she has to be running around and running behind children, and she can't do it. And then she's going to hire some kind of maid or some kind of sitter to replace her. That's what you want. At 34 is fine that she's on her way to a second child. You understand? I'm taking up that one personal because why? It seems like that's the thing out there. That people are heckling people who are having children. And those people themselves probably don't have any. You know what I mean? Come on. Give the people a break, man. They ain't coming to you for monies to see after the children. You understand? So it's not a burden on the society. In fact, there's a possibility that child will turn out to be another star, you know, and contribute towards, you know, Barbados or whatever, make, you know, another star in any respect. And even if it's not a popular child, but anything. Any child could become a prime minister. Any child could become the savior of somebody else's life. Any child could become the savior of their mother or father's life. So why do we see it as a negative thing? Why do we see it as a negative, childbearing as a negative thing? It's a real thing, people. This thing is out there. I'm telling you, it's out there. So, give it a rest. You understand? Give it a rest. It's not all the business. It's not all the business. Now, I'm saying that, yes, you'll need to be very cautious in how you plan and how you space your children. You understand? For many reasons. But if you have the financial resources, if you have what it takes to maintain these children, then what does it have to do with the public? You understand? It's not the public's business. Make your children and them. But in fact, you make it sure, you know your problem is, Rihanna, you start too late. Because by now you should be at number 3. And I've said it before, that's my only regret. One of my only regrets. I have 2 regrets in life. I can't tell you the first one. But my second regret is not having children earlier. You understand? Because you try to plan so much because you want to see it in print. You understand? Okay, I have that aside for school. I have that aside for, and then you realize when you have your first child, it's not that difficult. Why didn't I? It's not that difficult. And so now I'm going back, you know what? Now that our first son is almost halfway, 3.5, and there's no burden in no way, shape, or form. You understand? We could have done this earlier. Children go mine. You understand? So yes, I regret not having children earlier. Because right now, how much? My father maybe have about 15. I'm on number 2. I feel like, I have squandered the opportunity to have more. Yeah, because me too don't want to be making grandchildren. Yeah, I still in my young age, but sometimes I find it hard to keep up with my small man. Yes, I have to keep up with small man because when I finish on the program right now, small man not sleeping and he's right out the door. Because when I'm finished here, I have to go and play with small man. And both of them. You understand? If I did that earlier, I would have had more energy and, more. Anyway. Let me leave that talk. So, I have the national report for you, and then I have the weather. The national report, no, too long. Like a 5 minutes. So, we're taking our break, family, and we are coming back. And I just thought I needed to say that because I did my chest. You know what I mean? I'm coming back.
Running low on groceries? Why not visit realvalueiga.com and experience our new online shopping platform? Place your order, then go out and enjoy your day to spend more time with friends and family. Free delivery available within select locations or in-store pickup available. Sounds simple, right? It is. Stress less, live more with Real Value IGA online store, where good food begins.
Affordable quality products delivered to you via superb service. We are superb distributors, wholesalers and authorized agents for trusted products you know and love. Like Rika Juices, Pure Heaven products, Bibin diapers, New Bright laundry detergent, Allegra pasta and more.
Contact Superb Distributors at 435-2948 for superb quality and service.
Allied Laboratories welcomes you. You can find us here on Gladstone Road in Grenville, in the building next to Calico, on the 2nd floor, adjacent to Dr. Isaac's office. Or you can find us here on Grand Anse Main Road, adjacent to South Winds, opposite the entrance of XL Plaza. Contact our Grenville branch at 410-3488 or 419-1588 or send us an email at alliedlabgrenville@gmail.com. You can contact our Grand Anse branch at 403-3488 or 404-3488 or send us an email at alliedlabstgeorge@gmail.com.
Fit for life and Allied Laboratories. We're taking care of Grenada.
Somebody call Waggy because this is madness, total madness. Sunday, March 5th from 5 p.m. The National Stadium comes alive as Megaforce Promotion presents its first big event for 2023. March Madness Mega Bingo.
And you can win
a whopping whopping $100,000 in cash.
Wait, is $100,000 he just said it?
Yes, $100K in cash could be yours. Tickets are $60 for one or $100 for two. You gotta be mad to miss that. Remember, Sunday, March 5th, National Stadium. Get ready for March Madness Mega Bingo. This is madness, total madness.
We support you at every stage of your life.
For business.
For your education.
For your financial freedom.
For that new ride.
Upgrade your life with the communal. Contact us today.
We got the call on our way home that something was wrong. When we got here, we saw that the entire house was engulfed in flames. Just sitting there and looking at here, basically a whole life investment going up in flames. It did take a toll on us as a family. Once we decided to rebuild, the thought came up to use the Housing Authority of Grenada. After they sent in their quotation, which we thought was very, very reasonable, we decided to go with Housing Authority of Grenada. They were very helpful. They visited the site weekly. The staff was very professional. The contractor was very professional. They delivered our house on time. The quality of work was amazing. And as you can see today, we are not disappointed. I would definitely recommend Housing Authority of Grenada for all your construction needs. With their affordable costs, high level of customer service, guidance, and building expertise, they will help you as they help us.
The Nawasa app brings the power of Nawasa's customer service experience to you. Instant, conversational, and smart. Easy access anywhere. Get bill balance, transaction history for up to 6 months, report a fault, link to websites, view payment centers, contact information, push notifications, and multi-tenant accounts, all in a secure login platform. Like a self-service concierge app, mobile.nawasa.gd gets you the support you need much faster. Available on both Android and iOS platforms. mobile.nawasa.gd, your customer support companion. Nawasa, committed to meeting customers' needs.
Diamond Intercontinental Jewelry Store now has amazing deals, special discounted prices on wedding sets, watches, and selected jewelry. We sell top brand jewelry and watches like Citizen, Guess, and Klein, and G-Shock, all at the best prices in Grenada. We also buy scrap gold and offer the best deals and customer service on the island. Opening hours Mondays to Saturdays, 9:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Diamond Intercontinental Jewelry Store, located at the Esplanade Mall, St. George's, Grenada. Visit our brand new remodeled store or call us on telephone number 414-3114, 232-1234 or WhatsApp 533-1581. Sale is on for a limited time only.
MNIB Contractors and Machinery. We are your one-stop engineering and consultancy company with experience locally, regionally, and internationally. We provide excavation services and engineering consultancy, construction of residential and commercial structures, civil works such as drainage, retaining walls, roads, concrete patio services, paving services, concrete driveway services, remodeling and renovation, painting services, styling services, and so much more. Ask about our rental services of excavators, heavy equipment, metal formwork, and steel prop. Contact us today via telephone number 537-9675 or email infinitecontractors19@gmail.com.
Batteries. All roads lead to Quality Services Limited for the best deals on batteries for all applications, cars, SUVs, pickup pickups, buses, medium and heavy-duty trucks, construction equipment, generators, boats, and more. European made with the highest amps and comes with a 12-month warranty. Yes, you heard it right. 1 year with the best quality and price. Quality Services Limited for the best deals on batteries. First left of the Lansopines Road. Call 444-4323 or WhatsApp 410-8070 or 405-7010. Quality Services Limited for all batteries.
What does it take to be an amazing woman? Lots of me time. Amazing women are classy, fancy, and a little sassy. It's the drink for me. Cheers! Sometimes you've got to show them who's boss. Alpha male? Nah, alpha females are more amazing. Cheers to securing the bag. We make time for ourselves, for work, friends, and we certainly make time for passion. We're simply amazing. Amazing cream liqueur for the amazing woman in you.
Find the frames you love at Quartz Optical. Shop today and enjoy 50% off our wide selection of fashionable frames. Choose from our flexible payment plans from 3 to 24 months. Schedule your appointment online today at www.quartzoptical.com. Remember, at Quartz Optical, your comprehensive eye exam is always free. So come in and find the frames you love at 50% off only at Quartz Optical. See in store for details. Quartz Optical, value you can see.
Government to pay severance to workers who will be affected by a dissolution of the MNIB. We'll have details to this story and more in the National Report.
The Carriacou Carnival Committee presents Majestic Thursday. Majestic Thursday on February 16th at the Hillsborough Recreation Ground, 8 p.m. sharp. Come out in your numbers as 6 beauties will vie for the coveted crown. Marsha Blair, Miss Baltazar Grenada. Kiana Thomas, Miss Bogle. Kenesha Kojo, Miss BBH. Brianna Primus, Miss Six Roads. Michaela Gregg, Miss Pitty Martinique. And Renaya Alexander, Miss Lester. Admission $40. Showtime 8 p.m. Remember, it's Majestic Thursday, February 16th, 8 p.m. at the Hillsborough Recreation Ground.
With the details to the news for Monday, February 13th, I am Rikisha St. Louis. The operations of the Marketing and National Importing Board will be dissolved over the next 6 months, effective February 28th, to allow for the birth of a new entity in September. During a press conference at Parliament House on Monday, Prime Minister Honorable Deacon Mitchell said government will undertake the responsibility to pay severance packages to the 94 workers whose services will be terminated. Government will also assume liability for the over $15 million debt of the entity and appoint a technical working group to assist with creating the new entity. Prime Minister Mitchell explained that the board will focus on operations at the River Road facility as the main hub during the transition period. The board will also be responsible for the winding down of the entity from February into September 2023.
Between February and September, and if possibly sooner, the government will take a two-pronged approach to addressing the reform of the MNIB. The existing MNIB will be essentially wound down. The board will be responsible, the current board will be responsible for closing of MNIB outlets that do not need to be opened. We expect that the board will concentrate on the River Road facility and the packing house to continue servicing our farmers during the next 6 months. During that period, the board would be responsible for the management of the winding down of the MNIB operations. In addition to severing the staff and undertaking the liability to pay the staff, the government will also assume liability for the estimated $15.1 million of debt that the Marketing and National Importing Board is currently unable to pay. To that end, the Ministry of Finance will lead the negotiations with the third parties, including the banks and other third parties that Marketing Board is owing.
Government envisions that the new entity will attract public-private investment and focus heavily on storage, logistics, preservation, distribution, and importation of food and agro-processed goods.
The technical working group, therefore, will pay attention towards the creation. Essentially, the mandate will be to help government with creating the new entity. We anticipate that this will occur during the 6-month period while we are winding down the existing Marketing and National Importing Board. To do this, therefore, we had no choice but effectively to begin the process of bringing to an end the existence of the current Marketing and National Importing Board. It's a statutory body. It was created by legislation, and ultimately, at the end of the 6-month period, we expect that the MNIB Act will be repealed.
According to Prime Minister Mitchell, farmers will be able to sell their produce and do business with MNIB, which will be in a better position to make timely payments in the transition period. He said the board's mandate for the next 6 months is incur no liabilities, incur no losses.
They can continue selling to MNIB on the assumption that the MNIB can pay them. What the mandate to the board will be over the next 6 months is incur no liabilities, incur no losses. If the government is going to take over all of the existing debt of the MNIB, we are doing so, and we expect that in the 6 months while we transition, that the revenue derived from the operations of MNIB will meet its obligations to third parties. And so we expect, therefore, that certainly as of the 1st of March, when this becomes operational, that when farmers sell to MNIB, that MNIB should be in a position to pay them, because in effect, the only obligations MNIB will essentially have would be to these persons that it is buying produce from, and the overheads associated with the purchase of and storage and eventual sale of the produce. The bulk of the staff will no longer be employed. Those outlets which are being rented from third parties will be closed, so you don't have rent payments and lease payments and additional overheads and so on to meet. So it should, in fact, put the farmers in a better position to be paid by MNIB during the 6-month period while we transition.
Government, through the parliamentary representative for St. George South and the Ministry of Mobilization, Implementation and Transformation, is moving ahead with plans to restructure vending and other business operations at Wall Street in Grandans. A meeting was held recently with members of the Wall Street Food and Beverage Association to discuss avenues and opportunities for improving vending activities and the standard of operations. The area along the Grandans main road sits in the tourist belt and has become a major form of attraction, entertainment and relaxation for locals and visitors. The intention is to implement more structures to generate more businesses and revenue. Parliamentary Representative and Minister for MIT, Honorable Andy Williams, explained the vision government has for the area.
As MP for the South, I'm not satisfied with the way Wall Street is going. And I think that if we are selling food in an area like that, number one, it has to be more pleasing to the eyes, and the conditions have to be better. So I met with everyone today, and we had a good meeting. And we agreed on the steps that we should take going forward to ensure that Wall Street is a better place to vend and for people to come and eat and so on. We are in the process of beautifying the Lagoon Road and attacking Wall Street at the same time. So we want to make Wall Street look, better, when a tourists come, they should be wanting to come on Wall Street to see exactly what it's like. At the same time, we should aim at creating a better environment so that the other businesses that are on Wall Street, when they open their doors on a Saturday morning, it can be, more clean. And this is what we're trying to bring across.
President of the Wall Street Food and Beverage Association, Peter St. John, commends the government on its decision to initiate change. He's hopeful that a cleaner, more organized environment will attract more businesses and revenue for the country.
It's been years we've been waiting to get a permission on which the Wall Street Food and Beverages have that authority to choose and the right people with the right attitude and think for Wall Street, because we want to take Wall Street to the next level, a level that makes everyone in Grenada, any foreigner that comes in, should see Wall Street as the face of the island, because we are in the tourist belt. You know, Wall Street is a place that, you know, if you want a family out in the night after 10, you know you could come and get something. And plus, you want an environment that could enhance, you know, a little activity, a little, just a good time out. And Wall Street is a place for it. We want a clean environment. We want an environment, the urinating, the lawlessness, the fighting, we want that out. Because you know what, if we have a place where people want to come and be together with the family, we don't want a bad environment.
The association's PRO, Christopher Augustus, is excited about the change that is on the way for the area.
We was very impressed with this meeting and with the administration, because for the past years, 18, 19 years, we're looking at that and we didn't get the opportunity. So now we get it, I feel very happy. I run a nice little barbecue business on Wall Street, I do very good, you know. And I always praying to see Wall Street like Josie Lane in St. Lucia or Haitian in Barbados. And to be honest, it make me feel like we're getting there. So asking the public, they're going to see some changes to go forward as early as March. With the pissing, by the way, we have to stop that. We're going to put the garbage bin, we're looking to have a permanent toilet, you know, we're going to restructure the whole place. We want to paint it in the national color, red, green and yellow. And it's a lot, you know, we have so much ideas for Wall Street. They don't want the public to feel that we don't concern about Wall Street. We concern a lot about Wall Street.
This is the National Report. The news will continue after the break.
My name is Travon Lead, and I'm a fisherman of Guam, St. John's. Well, I've been fishing for about 7 years, since I was about 16, and my father is a fisherman, and I grew up in that. I love to fish, and that helps to feed the community of Guam. Some of the challenges I faced before, I had a smaller boat, and I used to row and fish. But now that I'm a successful applicant, I'm going to use the funds to buy a bigger boat and an engine, and that's going to benefit me and my family and to help others. It's a yes for sis.
Welcome back. Prime Minister Honorable Deacon Mitchell plans to raise the subject of visa-free access for Grenadians traveling to Canada with Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, who will be attending the CARICOM Heads of Government meeting in the Bahamas. The 44th regular meeting of the Conference of Heads of Government of CARICOM takes place in Nassau, Bahamas from the 15th to the 17th of February. Prime Minister Mitchell says with Grenada being a peaceful country, there is no justification as to why citizens should be subjected to acquiring a visa for travel to Canada.
We certainly feel that there's no justification for continuing to require Grenadians to get a visa to travel to Canada. In fact, I think from where we sit, I think that there's no justification for a Grenadian to get a visa to travel anywhere in the world, because we really do not think that our citizens pose any security risk, any social risk to anyone. For the most part, Grenadians either travel for leisure, tourism purposes, or they travel to study. Or they travel to work. And clearly if they're traveling to work, they will only do so on proper documentation in the particular country in which they're going. So I don't think there's any, Grenada is not a place where people are persecuted. It's not a place where people are fleeing any political, social, or religious issues. We don't have an army. There's no risk of really, there's no political, social, or economic risk, I think, to any country posed by Grenada. And so we really don't think there should be any visa restrictions on our citizens, particularly to a former colony of the UK and a former member of the Commonwealth. So we certainly would be raising that issue with the Prime Minister of Canada.
Other matters for discussion will include the political, security and humanitarian assistance in support of the Haitian people, as well as discussions on the Citizenship by Investment program in regional territories.
We also will be, in fact, looking to lobby Canada and other countries so that they understand what our CBI programs are about, so that they can, in fact, help support the continuation of the programs and to push back against some of countries who may have a misconception about what the CBI program is about. So we would certainly be looking to get their support for that. We also would want to address with the Canadians the situation in Haiti. I started off by making reference to the fact that we currently have Haitians here that we are looking to send back. But the reality is, I think, as CARICOM, and given that Haiti is part of CARICOM, we have to accept that a sister nation of ours is in serious and dire straits, and it impacts the lives of the citizens, and you understand why citizens would want to move or leave Haiti. And I think, therefore, as a region, including Canada, the US, and CARICOM, we have to come up with solutions to address the migration situation that the challenge poses in Haiti, and ask whether or not there should not be a policy in place for us to receive some of the Haitians in our respective islands to assist our brothers and sisters in Haiti in the meantime. We are also aware that there are Grenadians who go to Canada to engage in short-term farming, particularly with things like the picking of apples and other produce and so on. So we certainly want to ensure that Grenadians continue to get those opportunities as well. While obviously tourism, the tourism market is another area that is of particular interest to us, between us and the Canadians. And so air travel is one of the challenges that we continue to face, and that is something we certainly want to look at to see how the Canadian government can help. And then finally, I would say technical assistance to help build our capacity in several areas that we believe the Canadians may be able to assist us with. So those are some of the issues we expect to raise with the Prime Minister.
Prime Minister Mitchell leaves on Tuesday for the 44th Heads of Government of CARICOM meeting. In his absence, Honorable Andy Williams will act as Prime Minister. The meeting will be held under the chairmanship of the Prime Minister of the Bahamas, Honorable Philip Davis. Finally in the news, youth mentors, community associates and aspiring entrepreneurs are part of a 3-day workshop which commenced today at the Radisson Beach Resort. The workshop, which will run over the next 2 days, forms part of the Resilient Caribbean Grenadian Youth Empowered for the Digital World of Work in collaboration with the Ministry of Education, Youth, Sports and Culture and the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, UNESCO. We get more in this June Paul report.
The training is part of the UN Joint Program for a Resilient Caribbean, engaging and training youth, strengthening integrated SP sector delivery that will be implemented in partnership with the United Nations Children Fund, UNICEF, the International Labour Organization, ILO, the UNESCO Cluster Office for the Caribbean, and the World Food Programme. Addressing participants at the opening ceremony at the Radisson Beach Resort, Assistant Coordinator of Youth, Colleen Perriman-Roust, expressed gratitude to UNESCO and other partners for seeing value and fostering resilience among our nation's youth through such opportunities.
With growing economic crisis promoted by COVID-19, inflation, entrepreneurship is an excellent way to attain sustainable livelihoods. Hence, it's an honor for the Ministry of Education, Youth, Sports and Culture, in particular the Division of Youth, to partner with UNESCO to bring this workshop to you to help facilitate your growth and development on this amazing journey called entrepreneurship and community leadership.
Perriman-Roust, in congratulating the participants in accepting the call, beseech of them to act as sponges, form networks and create partnerships.
We encourage you during the next few days to act like sponges. Soak up everything and leave the session free of any misconceptions in the areas that you're going to be taught in. Be bold as you wring yourself dry of any questions that you may have in this forum, big or small. Leave with a clean mindset to form networks and create partnerships with your colleagues here this morning, because you never know what ideas and opportunities you are currently laying dormant right here in this room that needs to be woken up, to be put and realized into reality.
Participants in training will enhance their skills in being able to develop and assess the viability of new business ideas, effectively develop a business plan using the business model canvas, effectively market and pitch a business idea to customers, and develop leadership, communication, and problem-solving skills. The workshop concludes on Wednesday, February 15, 2023, with a closing ceremony and certification presentation. Reporting for the National Reports, I am June Paul.
Thank you, June. That story just ended the national report for Monday, February 13th, recapping the top story. Government to pay severance to workers who will be affected by the dissolution of the MNIB. On behalf of the entire news and production team, I am Rikisha St. Louis saying thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much, Rikisha and the rest of the GIS News team. We'll now take a look at the weather as submitted by the Met Office. We can tell you that the weather is expected to be partly cloudy and windy with light to moderate showers. Tonight's minimum temperature, 24 degrees Celsius, probably a little warmer than previous nights. Winds northeasterly to easterly at 14 to 24 miles per hour. Seas moderate to rough with waves 6 to 9 feet in northeasterly to easterly swells, and we see that the marine advisory remains in effect. And we'll take a look at the weather for tomorrow, Tuesday, as well. We can tell you that the weather is expected to be partly cloudy and windy with light to moderate showers occasionally. Max temperature, as has been for a couple of weeks, 29.5 degrees Celsius, just within that range. Minimum 23.5. Winds northeasterly to easterly at 14 to 24 miles per hour. Seas moderate to rough with waves 6 to 9 feet in northeasterly to easterly swells, and we'll let you know that a marine advisory is also going to be in effect for tomorrow as well. So folks, that's it for our weather for tonight and tomorrow. Before we wrap, we would like to say hello to the people who are currently tuned in on YouTube, the big scream we see. Hillary, Anya, Michelle, who else is there with us? Lois, and everyone else who is there. Keith, as well. It's Clovey, Glenora. I see that we have quite a crowd on YouTube tonight on the big screen. So blessings to you guys. And those of you who are on Facebook, thank you for watching. Blessings to you and your family. So we talk about Suzette. He did. Suzette is asking how come baby hasn't come to drag me out of the studio yet. He has actually. He knocked on the door already, but we were on the break. All right. Cindy, Angel, Zaka, Kirin, Praise and Worship, the Sharing Committee, Java, and Michelle, Hazel, all the others who are there, all of you, Dolores, Dillian, and everyone else, thank you for watching today. Thank you for being with us today. I do realize that we've exhausted our time pingling. Diana, I realize that we've gone over by a lot. Miriam, and so don't worry. Vicky, we'll make up for that, okay? We'll make up for that. So guys, take care of yourselves, take care of your families, and may God... by the way, tomorrow is Valentine, you know, lad. Praise worship. Tomorrow is Valentine. Happy Valentine in advance. Louis, wagwan, you know? Anyway, I see you're racking up some of your accolades again. So blessings to you, bro. All right, and guys, take care. Bermuda, have a good one. And yeah, take care. I love you. God bless you. God bless your family. Okay, this is it right there now. We'll touch base again tomorrow. Let's go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We all say, Ja! No! Take care.